Hi friends! So I'm closing out all of my January things, and I thought it would be a fun time to check in because I found a way in the last year of organizing each month that helps my brain. So I thought I would share it because a lot of these I found from other people sharing their little tricks online as well. So this is what I do at the end of each month when I'm getting ready for the next month. Just because I have a ton of moving parts, just like most people, of my life. So I like to try to keep it organized. Otherwise, I will literally spiral. Spiral on down and then nothing gets done. And then months pass by. So I thought I would share what I have learned through therapy, through following other people online, through doing my own lots and lots of trial and error. This video will be to take you along on how I do a monthly reset each month. Okay, so first I will gather all of my things so that it's all in one spot, because otherwise I will get so sidetracked if everything is in different spaces. So I have my calendar pulled up, my list over here ready to go. My emails open just in case, and Discord. That's how I communicate with a lot of my groups. So I can look back on any past messages, things that I need to be doing for the next month. And then down here I have my notebooks that I take to different events and meetings. So I'll have different types of notes in here. Then I like to have lists for everything. So for example, this is our Together We Bloom running events list. So I'll have all the moving parts of my life. Here's my Girl Scout book, and then my master physical calendar. And then this, I'll explain all of this in a little bit as well, because this is just part of my brain that happens to work. So first I gather all of the things that I will need so that February 1st doesn't feel like how January 30th feels. Okay, so for me, once I have everything gathered and in one spot, I like to set it into one area so that I'm not flustered and trying to move a ton of pieces. So I have like a little pile here. It's in a basket, so that's what it is, and I go one at a time through the pile and start inputting things. But first, my very most important thing is I have everything ready. I know what I'm about to do. I have my little checklist. I'm gonna go take a shower and take care of myself first, because then I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm just ready to go. So I do that every single time. I gather everything that I need because I get like sweaty and flustered. Gathered everything, went through my purse, went through my backpacks, went through my house. Everything's in one place in my office. Now I'm gonna go take a shower, get ready, ground myself, cool down, and then start. So even on the days where I'm like, I'm not taking a shower, I'm not doing any of the things, I'll set a 10-minute timer on my little timer. This is my very favorite one. I will be very cheesy and I'll do that. I love you. And I'll set the timer. So no matter what, 10 minutes, just do it. And usually I'll finish like way before 10 minutes, so then I'll feel better. Yeah, so that's how I kind of trick myself, even on the hard days, to at least take care of myself for just a sec.
I love you.
That's what happens when it goes off, and it's the best. Okay, so I did beat my timer and I feel like a new person. So once I'm done, I'm feeling better. I always make sure that I've had water and had food, because I will have a meltdown halfway through if I haven't. So I'm fed, I have water ready, I have my coffee. And so what I do next is I just go one at a time through my little basket. So I'll go through one notebook at a time, input dates, ideas, things like that. So I'll show you the first page and then we'll go from there. So I opened that first notebook. I have some notes from a coffee meeting that I had, and then some notes on our event pages that I took with the girls. So I will come over here And I have just a document, super easy. So I have my life buckets. I call them my little life buckets. So I have my work with marketing, my work with Together We Bloom, Girl Scouts, my life, and then my health. So I end up going through, I started this last night, just pulling from my master to-do lists from last month. It looks like a lot, but I promise it's not too much. So I will take, for example, send Sean Dino Days vendor emails. I'll come over here. I'll put it onto my list. So I do not try to do anything but put my notes into buckets for now. That's it. If I start trying to do the things or organize the things or micromanage the things, it won't get done. Right now, for the next 30 minutes, that's all I'm doing. And then of course I put on my timer. So then on good day, I beat the clock and I can push. You still get your little celebration.
You did it.
The best. So my goal at the end of that is to have a clean notebook. This one will go into my purse. This has my running lists that I always keep track of. So this will go into my purse. This big guy goes into my backpack that goes to meetings with me. And then it has my cleaned up running events list for Together We Bloom and monthly game plans in here. So I can cross things off, and then clean pages here. And then a calendar set and ready. Same with my ink. And then a cleaned out basket with no more randoms. So then when I hit my desk on Monday morning, I'm not completely overwhelmed. All of these things are in this place. So these are my running journals. These are like our dream events for Together We Bloom. It's got like good ideas, my gratitude journal, and then this cute little find your strength journal that I do every morning. And then I have this is all cleaned up as well. So it's all ready to go. And then during that process, something that has really helped me has been, because I do use a lot of paper, just because my brain, I have to be able to like write it, see it. I've tried all the things. So on that note, you'll probably see me ripping up all the papers and then my Post-it notes, and I keep them in here. So I rip up my Post-it notes and to-do lists as I go. They go into a Ziploc that is magnet hooked on the bottom of my desk. And then once it's full, I make paper. So this has been since I think I started this one in October. So quite a few months of October, November, December, January. 4 months of notes, paper, Post-its, all that stuff. So that will go into recycled paper and go into like my little journal with pressed flowers and all that stuff too. So the ripping up of the paper when I'm done is so satisfying. Like right now I get to rip up I finished going through all of my notebooks. So I rip it up, boop, put it in there. I have on the side of my computer, I have these. So my life is totally color coordinated. So I have Post-its that are like Gen Fitch, Together We Bloom, my cleaning, things like that. So I'll do my to-do list visually, set them on the side of my computer there. Each timer will have, like, some days I'm only doing 10 minutes at a time. Some days I'm like, I have to focus for an hour or two. So I set my timers, and then when I'm done, I take off my little Post-it note that I finished, rip it up. So satisfying, the entire process. And I put it into my bag and know that I'll be making paper with it soon. So that's just one of those little cute little habits that like really worked for me. like the visual timer, the ripping up of the paper, the sensory aspect of it all. It's a habit I started building last year, and it's something that I do every single day that really works. So then you'll see my calendar on here is all color coordinated, just like my post-it notes. So my Gen Fitch work is blue, my Together We Bloom is pink, my Girl Scouts are golden, myself, all my things are purple, money and health is green. So I have everything that I have to do daily already set out. So I have a color-coded system. That'll probably be its totally own video. So it looks like that on my computer. And then in my notebooks, in my calendar, I have everything color-coded with my fancy pens and my post-it notes. So those are all super important to me. So as I went through my list, I wrote everything down, and then I input in a color-coded fashion. So here is my list that I came up with, all of the things that I wrote down. Excuse me. All of the things that I wrote down for this month that I needed to organize. Let's see here. I think it's just going to have to be in here. Sheets. Let's go to the last one. Here it is. So this is my harvest of all of the things that I need to organize. So that'll be the next step, but I'm going to go have lunch and do all the things, and then I'll come back and do this step next in another 30-minute like timed session for my brain once I'm re-regulated and ready to go. But you'll see that I have these all color coded as well. So once I go through this, my brain automatically knows like where to dump these buckets into my calendars. So now I go through my list, and I'll go through and highlight anything that will take 5 minutes or less to do. So like, for example, I need to detach my personal email from the back end of Bluehost for Gen Fitch. Just because it's a little overwhelming, so I will go in manually and check that every day. So anything that takes less than 5 minutes, I'm just going to highlight. And then anything that's going to be like a good chunk of work, I'm going to highlight in the work color. So like my Gen Fitch stuff. I'm going to have to like dedicate like a solid hour or two to that. Down here, same thing. So I have my yellow highlights are everything that I can do in 5 minutes or less. Colored highlights are anything that I need to dedicate a whole work block to. And then anything that I'm collaborating on or that I need to make appointments for, I do in my pink. And then everything that has to be done like today, or, anything that's extremely urgent. I don't have anything on here right now, but let's pretend that I'm doing my testimonials and that's urgent. So now I'll go through and do all of these. I can show you what I do next. So then I'll go through my master list, and I'll choose things that are quick and easy. I make a little appetizer menu. Then I choose the things that take a lot of time. And then the things that I really, really enjoy that I do to decompress. So this setup of buckets comes from the first couple of months I was learning how to do these things. I was using ChatGPT. So I would put in that list. I would just copy paste that whole list, put it into ChatGPT, and then it would do this for me. Now, after doing some research on AI, and having used AI to build that habit and that skill, now I just take my list, copy paste, and put it into my my like standard monthly deal: appetizers, entrees, desserts, and then little chef's notes. It's very cute, and I love that. So then I will print this out, so then I can cross off, highlight, make notes on for myself. And then again, when I'm done with it at the end of this month, I'll do the same thing and go into January. And so, of course, the goal of that list is to be able to go each morning and choose however much energy I have, or how much my capacity is that day. I choose like an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert, or like a couple entrees and a dessert. Depending on like my energy, I will choose from my list what I think my capacity is. And obviously all of my red highlighted items that have to be done no matter what, because life does not give you options some days. So each day I go through it, and then I'll fill in my little daily work with what I will be doing that day, and then I just start crossing off. And then by the end of the month, I'll have added things, taken things off, and I'll start this over. That is the biggest thing that I've had to learn. That I wonder if neurotypical people like just know this innately, because it's like duh, but it took me this entire year to like come to terms with this. But like this list will never be done. Like I will cross everything off of it, but more things will add to it. Just like my cleaning list. So all my life, I swear it's like duh, but all my life I was like, why can't I just finish this list? Well, because it's never finished. Like you'll do all the dishes, but then you have to use your dishes again, right? So you're going to be doing dishes the next day. Same thing with this. Like same thing with your lists. Like they are a moving, evolving part of life, and you're just not ever going to wake up one day and have like a zero list. Which, I mean, I guess maybe you probably could, but do you want, like, I don't think I would want to. I want to always have something cool that I could do. So even on like a zero list day, there's all kinds of desserts that I can have, all kinds of art that I want to do, books to read, things like that. So this also breaks it down too in a way that helps me like get through the menu and see what's coming up like on the chef's menu for the next month. You know what I mean? Like I know that it's just going to be different. It's not going to be nothing. So I don't know. That took me a while to figure out. So I hope that might help somebody out there. Like one of those things, it's like, duh, of course you're not ever going to be totally finished cleaning forever. But in my head at some point, like that should happen. That should just happen. That's not right. So anyway, that is my end of the month organization for my autism and ADHD brain. And I hope that it helps somebody. I swear, watching videos like this and taking little tips, talking with my therapist, my psychiatrist, and trying to build the habits. And honestly, like, if it works, keep doing it. If it doesn't work, move on. Like, there's a ton of tools that will work for you and tools that won't. It's finding the ones that do and using all little tidbits of all the different things that kind of go with your brain, because we're all so different. So there's just no one quick fix. So hopefully you found something in here today that helps. I'll do some more of these. Yeah, love y'all. Have a great day. Oh, and happy February. My birthday's coming up. Love you guys.